Alright guys, welcome to What If Mr. Satan Wasn't a Fraud. This will be the last video, and I'm really confused because everyone voted for it, but almost no one watched it, so yeah, let me know why. Sorry, it sounds like I'm complaining. I'm actually happy to make videos, and I love that you guys are watching, but just wanted to put that out there. Enough with my negativity. With all that being said, let's get on to the video. We cut to Zeno. Zeno was remembering something. He forgot something, but it seemed important, but then he remembered. It's the tournament. A long time ago, he had an idea for a tournament with all the universes, and Mr. Satan can fight in it. But the Grand Prix said Mr. Satan's too strong. How about Universe 7 can only send Mr. Satan to make it fair? And it was like, yes, that'd be very interesting. So we cut to Beerus, who gets a call from the Grand Prix, telling him about the Tournament of Power and that you're only allowed to send Mr. Satan to compete. Beerus is shocked, so everyone else gets a full team, but we only get Mr. Satan. Grand Prix says, I've seen his power, and he's more than enough. Honestly, your team has a great chance of winning with just him. Beerus sighs and says, I guess you're right, but still. Beerus and Whis go off to find Mr. Satan. As Mr. Satan is training, he looks up, and he asks, what are you all doing? Beerus says, I'm here to, but before you can even talk, Frieza lands down and begins to laugh. Beerus would say, we need to go to a tournament, I should take, but Mr. Satan said, no, this will be my warm-up. As he got ready to fight, Frieza turned black. Behold my black form, behold this form of true power, of true greatness. I found a time chair and began to train there for 10 whole years. Now this is true power. Mr. Satan says, that's not true power. Let me show you what true power really is. As he says this, his hair slowly turns yellow and the entire planet shakes. Frieza walks back a bit scared, but then he gets ready. I'm not scared of you. Anyone who's friends with a monkey will call you a champion, but you're just a zookeeper. All you do is keep those filthy monkeys around you, and you really think you can defeat me, Lord Frieza, Emperor of the entire universe? Mr. Satan would simply just laugh and say, you're funny. You know, Frieza, you keep up this trash talk, but really, I think you're scared to start the fight. Oh, really? That Frieza simply looked at him, death being right at Mr. Satan's face. As Mr. Satan fell down, Frieza looked at him, thinking he was dead. But then Mr. Satan got up and grabbed him by the arm and pushed him down to the ground. As he laughed, you really fell for that trick? Playing dead's the oldest trick in the book. Frieza got up and said, I'm gonna kill you. Beerus says, we don't have time for this. I'd love to toy with you, but sadly, we don't have time for this. Miss Satan said, dynamite, kick, as he kicked Frieza straight into the sun. As he went into the sun, he felt his body begin to collapse as the star pushed him into a single atom and destroyed him, evaporating Frieza. Then, Beerus took Mr. Satan into the Tournament of Power. As he looked around, he began to smirk. Is this everyone I'm gonna fight? The Grand Prix said, I'm glad you all could make it. This is the tournament. As he explained the rules, he got up and he said, oh, this is our special guest, Mr. Satan. He's so powerful that he wasn't allowed to have a team because it would be an automatic win for him. Even this is a little unfair, but we couldn't really handicap Mr. Satan even more. I mean, where's the fun in that? Besides, you all will be fine, hopefully. Anyway, we should start this tournament up. All the other teams were shocked. How could Universe 7 only have one member? How strong truly was this guy? Belmont was a little scared because, you know, he thought Jiren was the strongest, but it's not like he's forced to only have Jiren and no one else, so Mr. Satan must be even stronger. Other universes all had one thing in mind, testing Mr. Satan's might. Some were scared, others were excited, and some thought this was some sort of weird bluff by Universe 7. This can't be real. But who would be the first? Well, Universe 9 would go up against Mr. Satan, as a trio of danger surrounded Mr. Satan and began to fight him. Mr. Satan was backed further and further into a corner by all of them, but he did not budge. He was not scared. He fought against them. The trio of danger used their unique techniques, ki absorption, blinding, but none of it was a match for Mr. Satan. Mr. Satan simply knocked him off the edge by one. No matter how many people went up against him, they were no match. and Universe 9 was erased. Everyone was just shocked and amazement as Mr. Satan looked up. He felt a little guilt, but he had to do it. Universe 9 was going after him. If he didn't destroy them, his universe would have been wiped out. But as he was walking away, Kaba would walk up to him after training with Vegeta. "Hey," he said. As Mr. Satan looked at him, Kaba turned Super Saiyan 2. "I've been training under Vegeta just like you said. I have an idea for an alliance since you're all alone. We'll work together until there's only Universe 7 and Universe 6 left, then we'll fight." Mr. Satan began to laugh and say, "Kid, I really appreciate that, I do. And I promise I'll wish you all back, but I don't need an alliance. I can easily take you all on." Kaba said, "Are you sure?" Kale and Caulifla said, "You heard him, that means fight." They both walked up to him. Mr. Satan looked back and said, "Kids, I wouldn't do this if I were you. I'm going to give you one last chance. Back down now." They said no as they charged at him and turned Super Saiyan. They both began to battle him. As Mr. Satan began to beat up two of them, they would both turn Super Saiyan, and Kaba would turn Super Saiyan 2 and began to charge at him. As all three of them began to push him, it wasn't enough. Mr. Satan was simply too strong. No one could ever challenge a champ. But Champa had an idea. Maybe they couldn't challenge them all three, but what if two of them were to combine? He yelled out to put on the earrings. As Kefla was born, Kefla began to look at Mr. Satan as she began to taunt him, and they both began to battle. Kefla flew ki blast after ki blast, and as they fought, she got stronger and stronger as she tapped into her power. However, Mr. Satan smirked and said, "You pushed me to 5%. Not a lot of people can do that." She said, 5%, you're bluffing. There's no way it's that low." Mr. Satan said, "You should be proud," as he hit the ring so hard that it destroyed the floor she was standing on, and she fell off of it. Then, he simply kicked Kaba out. Meanwhile, Hit was fighting Jiren, and Mr. Satan went over to watch to gauge his opponents. As he was watching, Topo would walk up to him and begin to smirk. Well, Mr. Satan, you are the strongest in your universe. You even fought against a god. However, let's see how well you do against Justice," he said, as he posed and began to battle him. Mr. Satan smirked as he battled Top, but he was easily pushing him back. Topo felt this as each punch put against his pride, and each punch made him question Justice. As he was almost knocked out of the ring, one of his teammates were able to use an electric net to pull him back up. Mr. Satan simply smirked and said, "Get stronger, alright? I'll enjoy fighting you," and began to walk off. Topo looked at this, and he realized what he had to do. He realized what he had to give up to truly become powerful. As Mr. Satan was walking away, suddenly two Namekians would appear. "It's time we get revenge for the 6th universe." Namekians battled Mr. Satan as they screamed, "You may not be the strongest, but we'll fight you, and we'll push against you." Mr. Satan said, "Why are you doing this? All of our Namekian kind were fused into us. We represent everything, every bit of our species, every bit of our race is inside of us, and we represent the power that they hold and the power that will defeat you." As Mr. Satan said, "Listen, that's one hell of a speech, and if you were a hero, I would applaud you, but you're not. I'm gonna wish you all back, so don't worry." As all he did was him tapping into 10% of his power. As he tapped into the power, that 10% sent shockwaves, sending the two Namekians off the edge. As we cut further into the tournament, people challenged Mr. Satan, team after team, universe after universe, they all defeated, until it was time for the final battle. Top, Jiren, and Dispo all made it on Universe 11, and they were gonna fight Mr. Satan. As he looked, Jiren looked at him. "I didn't know there was any mortal stronger than me, but I still will defeat you," as he tapped into 100% of his power. Then, Topo went into his God of Destruction mode, as Dispo was ready to run. "Are you ready to be defeated?" Mr. Satan simply smirked and said, "Be defeated? The only way this is gonna go with you three going off the ring." Topo would pull out his hand and say, "Usually I'd hold back, but since you're so strong, I know this won't erase you." And he shot a massive Hakai. As this went towards Mr. Satan easily deflected it, but it distracted him as Dispo ran and grabbed him, and he said, "Now." Topo charged with Jiren, gonna punch him off the edge, but the last second he broke free and jumped away, making them punch Dispo off. Then Mr. Satan turned superhuman as he punched Topo off the ring and looked at Jiren. "Just you and me, big guy, the toughest guys." Jiren looked at him and said, "How'd you get this strong?" "I did this all on my own." Jiren said, "Me too. We're not so different, are we? Our strength is what pushes us. Our strength in ourselves." Mr. Satan said, "You're wrong. The strength of others have also pushed me. Because of others, I unlocked this superhuman form. Because of others, I pushed further. And because of others, I got to fight Lord Beerus." Jiren simply said, "Shut up and fight me," as they battled the epic battle of the entire tournament. But it was clear Mr. Satan was going to win. Beerus smirked and said, "I knew no one could defeat him." As Mr. Satan knocked him off, Universe 11 was erased. And Mr. Satan made a wish to bring back all the universes. But the Grand Priest went down and said, "This was a test for you, Mr. Satan, to see if you were strong enough, had enough willpower, and if you were noble enough to bring them all back." The Omni King looked at him and said, "I'm bored of this job, so I want to step down. You want to do it?" Mr. Satan was shocked, but he agreed, as Mr. Satan became the new Omni King. And that's going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you all enjoyed this series. The movie will come out hopefully tomorrow. And I don't know why you all didn't view it. You all voted for it, but yeah. Also, why the hell are there so many sexual images of Kefla? I looked up caulifla, and there was just tons and tons and tons of just, yeah, that. Why, internet? Why? Anyway, peace out.